Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about what it's like being a Nigerian student. This is something that a lot of people talk about in person, so I feel like it would be worth talking about here on this channel, at least for once. Being a student in Nigeria is not really the best experience. It's not as eventful as we see on it's not as eventful as how anybody portrays it maybe on social media or anywhere, and overall it's kind of a frustrating and depressing experience if you'd ask me, or if you'd ask basically anyone who studies in here, because well, there are a lot of features, there are a lot of cons, there are a lot of disadvantages to studying here, and these are things that would really affect anyone, whether the person schools in a private or public school. These are things that would affect them, whether it is undergraduate or graduate level. And one of these things is the whole process of education in Nigeria being relatively slow. There are a lot of reasons for that, but I feel like mentioning just two so that the video will be as short as possible. So, the first thing is something that you would experience if you are trying to apply to a Nigerian university, and that is that you have only one chance in a year to apply to just one or two universities in that very year. So these universities, they can give you a course you don't want to study, or they can basically ignore the course in your application and give you something else they feel like giving you. So when they give you this other course, it is up to you to accept it, or to wait for another year and apply again. Or these schools can just decide not to give you admission at all, and you would have to wait till the following year to apply again. And if this process happens more than once, happens the first time, second time, third time, that's how you would waste 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And before you enter the university, you would have ended up spending as many years as it took you to get to that university. So overall, maybe you'll be spending like nine years to study just a course, one course, or 4 years. So this is one of the reasons why it is very slow. And the second reason is strikes. Strikes meaning the stoppage of work by a group of workers as a form of protest, maybe due to unpaid salaries or bad working conditions or something like that. So these strikes are usually orchestrated by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, popularly called ASU. So this Academic Staff Union, usually their strikes have become more or less routine in the past decade. And I think that's because the government usually gives them something to complain about, or they just create something to complain about, be it unpaid salaries, bad working conditions, or whatever. So the strikes become more frequent by the year, and they become longer. I mean, the most recent strike ended last year, December, and it lasted about 9 months. So imagine going on strike 9 months. And mind you, ASU is the body that um, uncovers. ASU is like a body of academic staffs in every university. So by saying ASU, I'm referring to all the academic staff, the professors, the lecturers, the assistant lecturers in in the public universities, in the government universities. So that's to say their strikes don't affect private universities, but the majority of undergraduates and graduates in Nigeria are in the public universities. So when they embark on these strikes, they usually affect the speed, they affect the pacing of the academic calendars, and there is just no way to study a course within the given time of that course in Nigeria. So if you're going to study a course of 4 years, be prepared to spend 4.5 years, 5 years, or even 6 years. Thanks to ASU. So another peculiar feature to studying in Nigeria is the lack of quality in the system. So by this I mean lack of quality in infrastructure, lack of quality in the teaching itself, lack of quality in the interactions, the student-teacher interactions. Everything is a whole mess. In fact, a lot of students will tell you that what they know about their course of study are things that they taught themselves. I fall into this category. Forget the fact that I'm a medical student. Most cases, I taught myself by myself. Don't ask how that happened. So this is the case with many Nigerian students, and it's kind of sad because this actually leaves us looking at universities outside the country. We look at Ghana, we look at South Africa, we look at Rwanda, we look at United States, and we see these facilities. We see facilities, we see their laboratories, we see their classrooms, and we're like, okay, we want that for ourselves, but we can't have it. And it just leaves us thinking of how we can at least get away from the country or get our children where we grow up to that country where we saw those great facilities so that they themselves can study there. And I don't think that that's not right at all for a country to lose that much talent, because to a country to lose young people and that much manpower because of lack of lack of quality is very, very ridiculous. And the third peculiar feature of being in Nigeria, of studying, of the education system in Nigeria is the death of passion. I don't know if I'll call this murder, because this is more of a murder than a death. Well, to simply put it, Nigerian schools kill passion. They kill whatever drive you have to. They kill that drive. They kill that longing for a career. They kill that hope of having a great career, of climbing the corporate ladder or whatever in the country. They kill it because some it could be a problem in the corporate system, in the workplace. You know that when you study political science, you are not going to get into politics, or you know that when you study medicine, you can't easily get into a hospital in the country. That is one of the reasons. And also the slow education process, it also kills people's passion. I mean, when instead of spending 5 or 6 years to study a professional course, you spend 10 years. By then, you have forgotten all about the course and have moved on with your life and moved on to learning a skill or something. And this is the case with a lot of Nigerian students. They end up learning skills so that they can sustain themselves. School is just something they are doing on the side for for their families, for their villages, their relatives, and stuff like that. They are just doing school so that to be like, okay, he's a graduate, she's a graduate, she has finished university, she has an education. That's all. That's all. There is no real passion or no real wanting for a career of some sort. Most people just end up going through school so that it will show on their CV that this person went through school. And this too is also very, very ridiculous. I mean, for a country that's for a society that puts education in high regard as much as Nigeria does, it is quite ridiculous to see how the students of nowadays see that very education as a form of obligation rather than a quest for knowledge or a career. And I think overall it is very, very ridiculous because it should be better. It can be better. Nigeria has a lot of talent, a lot of intellectuals, a lot of smart people who just end up leaving the country and going to somewhere else where they will be valued because there is no value in the education system. There is no value on Nigerian graduates themselves. If you graduate in Nigeria, a Nigerian employer would rather give the job to someone who studied in Ghana or USA or whatever country. They would rather give it to someone foreign than a Nigerian. In Nigeria, well, I think to say the least, the education system, being a student in Nigeria, can be better. It should be better, but it is not. It is quite a terrible experience, and I hope in the future, I really hope, because at this point there is nothing I can do. There's nothing any of us can do. We just have to hope that it becomes better in the future. So that's all I have to say in this video. I really appreciate you watching. If you watch to this extent, please don't click out yet. If you like this video, hit like. Please subscribe so that I can see more of my videos. It really supports me. And please share if it impresses you or if you feel someone needs to see it. Thanks.